Hey, welcome to Happiness Bar. My goal is to share cocktails, content, happiness, and today we are going to make a pumpkin spice cocktail. I want to do a little riff on a Ramos Gin Fizz, but we're doing this with bourbon. We're doing it with a pumpkin spice syrup, lemon juice, heavy cream, a whole egg. It's a little different from that Fizz cocktail. And instead of topping it with club soda, we're gonna top it with a little bit of a pumpkin ale here, right? Really kind of just pumpkin it up. Bring out the pumpkin flavor, bring the fall festivities and everything that goes along with it. I've never made this cocktail before. Honestly, it's an idea that came to me, so I'm just gonna riff it right here on the air. We're gonna make some of these ingredients and components, and we're gonna mess with it, and we're gonna see what we can find. Hopefully we find something beautiful. This cocktail, it's our Pumpkin Spiced Fizz. All right. What would I do differently? Let's pause for a moment. I didn't like that very much. I told you guys I was winging this one, right? It's not bad. It's not my favorite. Well, now I'm sipping a little more. I don't mind it. That's okay though. We're gonna set that little one aside, and we're gonna do something else with it. We're gonna try, because we got these ingredients, so let's try something a little bit better. That might be a little bit better. That's what trial and error is all about, man. That's how you figure out cocktails sometimes. So we're doing a pumpkin spice flip cocktail now. It's gonna be made with bourbon, Averna Amaro, Grand Marnier, that pumpkin spice syrup that we made. It's gonna be beautiful. We're gonna serve it up, and yeah, it's gonna scream pumpkin and spice, hopefully. So let's try this all again. All right, guys, so there's a little bit of prep work we gotta do today. We gotta make that pumpkin spice syrup. Should be pretty simple, so let's just go ahead and jump right into the prep work. Tools you're gonna need for the prep. You're gonna need a microplaner. You're gonna need some teaspoons. You're gonna need a can opener. You're gonna need some cheesecloth. You're gonna need a mesh basket strainer. You're gonna need a pot. You need some sealable storage containers. You need a bar spoon or something you can stir with. And you're gonna need a spice grinder or a mortar and pestle. You're also gonna need a kitchen scale. All right, guys, we are going to start with our pumpkin spice syrup. I got all of my spices here. It's gonna be infused with fresh nutmeg. We got fresh clove, fresh allspice, and some fresh cinnamon sticks, as well as some ginger here. That's all gonna get infused into our pumpkin spice syrup. So the recipe for our pumpkin spice syrup is 250 grams of turbinado sugar, 250 grams of water, 62.5 grams of pumpkin puree. You're also gonna need one whole cinnamon stick, a half teaspoon of ground nutmeg, a half teaspoon of ground ginger, half teaspoon of ground clove, and a quarter teaspoon of ground allspice. Now you could use like pumpkin pie pumpkins and break those down and cook those into the syrup yourself, but it is tough work, man. It is harder to do. Honestly, you can get some real nice organic pumpkin puree. Makes it super easy, super simple. We're gonna strain it out anyways, and you're gonna get all that flavor. So, quick and easy way to work. That's what we're gonna do. All right, guys, so first things first, let's grab our scale, place a container on that scale, and we're gonna weigh out our 250 grams of turbinado sugar. Super nice. Great molasses flavor on that. 250 grams turbinado sugar. Add that to our pot. Let's weigh out 250 grams of water. 250 grams, add that to the pot as well. Now let's pop open our pumpkin puree. I'm gonna weigh out 62.5 grams of our pumpkin puree. 62.5 grams of our spoon. Let's add that in to the pot. Sugar and our water. All right, I'm gonna start with my one cinnamon stick. I am just gonna break that up in my hands, get it kind of crushed up. That one's hard. All right, one cinnamon stick, put that aside. Grab a half teaspoon of some nutmeg here, and I'm just gonna throw it in my little grinder. I'm just gonna crack it up a little bit. I don't want it like fine like a powder, just a little broken up. All right, that was good. All right, half teaspoon ground clove. Need a quarter teaspoon of ground allspice. Same situation, place it in the spice grinder. Give it a little pump just to get it nice and kind of cracked up. Quarter teaspoon ground allspice. All right, so we need a half teaspoon of ground nutmeg. We got these nice whole nutmegs here. Grab a container, and I'm just gonna grind it with my microplaner here until I have a half teaspoon. Watch your knuckles doing this. All right, half teaspoon ground nutmeg into the pot. And lastly, we need a half teaspoon some ground ginger. I got some fresh ginger here, same process. We're just gonna grate it on through the microplaner. Let's see what we got there. Let's get that good stuff hanging on the back of the microplaner. Oh yeah, we got a half teaspoon there. Beautiful, half teaspoon. Some ground ginger. All right, that is everything for our pumpkin spice syrup. Let's go ahead and turn that burner on. We already got our bar spoon in there. Nice medium-high heat, and we're just gonna give this a stir. Make sure everything's really well incorporated. All right, we're gonna let that go. We're gonna bring that up to just about a boil, let it kind of simmer there for a minute, let all that sugar dissolve, let all those spices infuse. We're gonna take it off the heat, let it cool for a minute, and we're gonna strain it through some cheesecloth, and our pumpkin spice syrup will be ready to go. All right, guys, our syrup is getting there. It's starting to heat up. Smell all these spices coming together, that pumpkin note. It's all really, really nice, filling the whole room with such a great smell. We got our cheesecloth here. We got our basket strainer. Now, you don't need a measuring cup. I'm just using that because it fits my basket strainer kind of perfectly. And it's clear, so you'll be able to see it as I pour this through and strain it. And this kind of looks like a ghost, doesn't it? Ooh. Yeah. Fucking idiot back here. All right, this syrup is coming to a boil. It looks like all our sugar's dissolved. I'm gonna take this off the heat. Pumpkin syrup, once you got it cooled down enough to handle, we're gonna go ahead and strain it through some cheesecloth and a basket strainer, just to catch all that residual pumpkin fibers and spices and whatever that are too large. Get a minute to strain through. Give your cheesecloth a little twist here. Work it along. What you'll have left is just all those spices here in the bag. We can get rid of that, get rid of your strainer. And then we'll grab a storage container, pour up our pumpkin spiced syrup. Grab our spoon, let's give that a little taste. Oh yeah. Get these great molasses notes from that turbinado sugar, which is a great choice for this syrup. The pumpkin comes through, you get that cinnamon, you get the ginger, the nutmeg, all of it. Those spices come together. That is a beautiful pumpkin spice syrup right there. I'm gonna grab some blue tape, I'm gonna label and date it. And guys, I would say your shelf life on that, I'm gonna keep it any longer than a month. Keep it in the refrigerator. You know, that pumpkin puree, you wanna make sure it stays fresh, doesn't go bad, all that kind of stuff. All right, our pumpkin spice syrup is done. Ready to go. All right, this is still gonna be a shaken cocktail, so first thing we're gonna need is our shaker tin, and we're gonna need our jigger, and we're gonna need our glassware. So, working cheapest, most expensive ingredients, we're gonna start with a ½ ounce of our pumpkin spice syrup. And we're gonna need a ½ ounce of our Grand Marnier. A ½ ounce of Averna Amaro. And an ounce and a half of our bourbon. Then if you got some of that pumpkin ale laying around from fucking up the first cocktail, go ahead and take a swig of that. Then we're gonna add a whole egg into our cocktail shaker. Grab the large side of our shaker and grab some ice. Let's fill that shaker tin all the way to the top. Let's seal her up, and we're doing a wet shake, so let's shake for 12 seconds. Seconds, crack that shaker tin. Let's grab our Hawthorne strainer, strain it back in, get every last little drop. Next, we are doing a dry shake. So, little dry shake secret, drop that Hawthorne strainer spring into the cocktail shaker. Dry shake, no ice, seal her up, shake it for 20 seconds. Should be about 20 seconds. Open that container. Got our glassware. Let's grab our basket strainer and let's double strain this cocktail. Oh yeah. And we're gonna hit it. Some of our bourbon barrel bitters here. Just a couple little drops around the cocktail. Give it a little stir just to Make a nice little design, and then grab some fresh nutmeg since we have some left over, and just grate a little nutmeg on top of that cocktail. Oh yeah, beautiful. And there she is, guys, our pumpkin spice flip. Let's taste. Now that's more what I'm talking about. That bad boy is rich and creamy from that whole egg. That pumpkin comes through, all those spices, the cinnamon, the ginger, the nutmeg, it's all really nice. You get the nutmeg on the nose. The bourbon is nice and light in this context of this cocktail. It's balanced perfectly. That little bit of bitterness of the Averna Amaro and that little bit of sweetness from that Grand Marnier. That's a nice little pumpkin spice flip right there, baby. Perfect for the fall time. I just want to keep sipping it down. There it is, guys, the pumpkin spice flip. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you enjoyed this recipe, even though I stumbled and fumbled my way through it and figured it out as I go. That's what you do when you're working in the bar industry sometimes, man. You gotta work through some cocktails, right? I did this one live on the air. Happy where we kind of got with the final product, made a little switch at the end, utilizing the same ingredients, which is always cool. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. Maybe you made it along with me, maybe you wrote it down, save for a later date, but either way, let me know how you like everything. And as always, guys, become a regular somewhere. Become a regular at your local watering hole. It's the best way to support local business. And become a regular here at Happiness Bar by liking, commenting, subscribing, and hit that bell if you want notifications. I don't know which side it's on. We got cocktail videos coming out every Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern to get you ready for the weekend. Stay happy, everyone.